Hey, history lovers! Welcome back to History Bites Daily, your go-to spot for the wildest, most jaw-dropping moments from the past. Today we're diving into the top 10 strangest, most impactful things that happened on one peculiar day in history, March 21st. These aren't just random oddities. They're events that shook the world, altered nations, and left a lasting mark. Buckle up for a wild ride through time. Let's get started. On March 21, 1960, South African police opened fire on unarmed black protesters in Sharpeville, killing 69 and wounding over 180. They were rallying against apartheid's oppressive pass laws, which restricted movement based on race. This brutal act ignited international fury, pushing the United Nations to condemn apartheid and sparking global sanctions that pressured South Africa to rethink its policies. It was a turning point that fueled the fight against racial injustice worldwide. The tragedy exposed the regime's cruelty to a global audience, shifting public opinion decisively. Decades later, it remains a symbol of resistance and the cost of freedom. In 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself Emperor of the French in a stunning ceremony. Ignoring tradition, he snatched the crown from Pope Pius VII's hands and placed it on his own head, declaring absolute rule. This audacious move solidified his grip on Europe, reshaping the continent's power structure and inspiring revolutions while triggering wars that redrew borders for decades. His self-coronation stunned onlookers, cementing his image as a defiant visionary. The Napoleonic code he championed still influences legal systems globally. In 2006, Jack Dorsey sent the world's first tweet, "Just setting up my Twitter." What started as a simple message exploded into a platform that transformed communication, giving everyone, from activists to world leaders, a megaphone. Twitter fueled revolutions like the Arab Spring and reshaped how news spreads, making it a cornerstone of the digital age. That single tweet unleashed a tool for real-time global dialogue. Its influence on politics and culture continues to grow unchecked. In 1963, the notorious Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary in San Francisco Bay closed its doors for good. Known for housing America's most dangerous criminals, like Al Capone, it shut down due to soaring costs and crumbling infrastructure. Its closure marked a shift in U.S. penal policy, spotlighting debates about incarceration that still echo today. The island's eerie silence signaled the end of an era of isolation punishment. Its legend later inspired countless films and books. In 1965, Martin Luther King Jr. led thousands from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama, demanding voting rights for Black Americans. After brutal attacks on earlier marchers, this peaceful trek forced the U.S. government to pass the Voting Rights Act, dismantling legal barriers to equality and inspiring civil rights movements globally. The march's courage captivated millions watching on television. It proved nonviolence could topple systemic oppression. In 1556, Akbar the Great was crowned Emperor of India's Mughal Empire at just 13 years old. His reign blended cultures, expanded territory, and built one of history's richest empires, influencing art, architecture, and governance across Asia for centuries. Akbar's rule shaped India's identity and left a legacy still visible today. His policies of tolerance united a diverse empire. Monuments like the Taj Mahal owe their existence to his vision. In 1999, NATO launched a bombing campaign against Yugoslavia, the first time it struck a sovereign state without UN approval. Aimed at stopping ethnic cleansing in Kosovo, the 78-day assault shifted global power dynamics, redefining NATO's role and setting a precedent for military intervention in humanitarian crises. The controversial decision divided international opinion sharply. It forced a rethinking of sovereignty in the modern era. In 1919, the Hungarian Soviet Republic was declared, turning Hungary into a short-lived communist state. Born from post-World War I chaos, it alarmed Europe's powers, fueling the Red Scare and hardening anti-communist stances that shaped the 20th century's ideological battles. The republic collapsed within months under foreign pressure. Its rise stoked fears that reverberated through the Cold War. In 1871, Henry Morton Stanley began his expedition to find missionary David Livingstone in Africa. His journey, ending with the famous Dr. Livingstone, I presume, opened Africa to Western eyes, accelerating colonial exploitation that reshaped the continent's future. Stanley's trek was bankrolled by a hungry press empire. It paved the way for Europe's scramble for African resources. In 1960, Theodore Maiman patented the first laser, a device that would revolutionize science and industry. From medicine to communication, lasers became essential, driving innovations that define modern life and cementing a leap in human capability. His ruby laser stunned skeptics who doubted its potential. Today it powers everything from surgery to space exploration. And there you have it, folks. The top 10 most bizarre, game-changing events from March 21st. From massacres to monarchs, tweets to tech, this day has seen it all. If you love this wild trip through time, smash that like button, subscribe to History Bites Daily, and ring the bell for more daily doses of history. What's the most surprising event to you? Drop it in the comments. I read them all. See you tomorrow for another bite of the past.